You're probably watching the Super Bowl. I'm probably talking to no one, but it's fine. It's the Pucknologists, and we do it anyway. Fuck it. I said the F word right off the hop. Demonetized. All right. Of course, if you want to be part of the show and do all the cool things, you can find us on all the social media platforms. You can support the show by hitting us up in the super chat. You can also, if you want to donate to us directly to help keep us ad free, you can do that on Venmo at Tealtown USA. All donations, all super chats, all that stuff does it keeps the lights on, man. We're not here to sell you a VPN or other stuff, I guess. Hello.
I don't want to shave your balls.
No, neither do I.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, people are here. Love it.
There are people here.
Hey, I'm here. Boom. Yeah, late. We're always late, man.
Yeah, we got to make sure everything's all on the up and up.
Everything's good. I'm looking. I'm glad there's actually people in the chat.
Yes,
makes
this
everything
is incredible.
a little bit better. So were you? I am not watching the game.
I've been watching the game. If you want to recap, there have been 4 field goals by the Seahawks. This has been your Super Bowl 60 recap. Ian, back to you.
That doesn't sound
like seriously. I don't know what it is about the most recent Super Bowls in the Bay Area. Super Bowl 50 was, what was it? Broncos, Panthers. I fell asleep during the game. This one, up until the prostate cancer commercial, which I know you don't get all our commercials up there. Yeah. Go search it on YouTube. It was fantastic. And what a way to send a message. Freaking fantastic.
So I've been very honest on this show that I am pretty much a mainly hockey guy. Like I sometimes have like a little thumb on what's going on in the sporting world. Like to me, I need to know if I'm correct in this. Is this the 2 of the most unlikable teams in the league as far as like fan bases and everything else?
Pretty much. I mean, Boston, just because they won freaking everything in the last 2 decades, thanks to Tom Brady. Yeah. I should say San Mateo native Tom Brady to keep with the theme going here. And it's like, okay, no, seriously, it's like, oh, the Patriots are out. Yay. Oh, now we got the Chiefs. Now the Chiefs are out. Yay. What do we got? Oh, we got Patriots again. And then there's the Seahawks who, excuse me one sec, are using the 49ers locker room tonight. Okay. It'd be like,
is this like coming to SAP Center and using the Sharks dressing room?
Yeah, it would be like the Penguins using the Sharks dressing room and could celebrate in the Sharks dressing room.
I think it's weird. I promise we're going to get to hockey. I promise.
We will.
I think it's weird. Like me and Jen were talking about this today, and it's weird how like it's the only sport where it's like just always played at, well, potentially. I mean, there's always the potential that the host city could get their team in there by winning, but it's weird to me that it's like it's just at a neutral site.
It's a rarity. I mean, it's happened in the last, in the last 5 years. Tampa had it during the COVID, so it was like you played 20,000, but then the year after that, the Rams won it in their new palace that they have. And if it weren't for injuries, the Niners really would have had a run at it, but the Niners were just awful.
It's a weird dynamic to me, like for being a hockey guy, right? Like where it's like, you play a good season, and then like your reward for having a good season is you host the Stanley Cup final if you're the better team.
Yeah, I think they just try to they've tried to keep it neutral. They try to keep it as,
do they try to keep it out of weather?
They usually do. Like, I mean,
is that what it really is about? They just need to keep it out of the weather.
Like, it was like Minnesota, it was in a dome,
Right.
and such. And so Detroit, it was in a dome where the Niners won their first Super Bowl. But then I think, what was it, 20 some odd almost 20 years ago? I mean, it poured for Colts and Saints. And ironic because it was Prince doing the halftime show.
Okay, I was going to ask if that was the Prince halftime show, because I do remember Prince
that
doing
one was that was epic. So, I mean, it was it's incredible, and be honest, to have it out here in the Bay Area after taking so much shit from idiots who haven't been out here in a while. Nothing but praise. I've had a blast this week doing a lot of stuff. Obviously, AJ is at the game right now, which is why I am gracing your presence.
I see. This is why I had to talk some football, because I figured, like, with AJ not being here, he'd be really mad if I just didn't.
Well, the really big thing is this, once that happens, once this game is over, are we talking Saskatchewan Roughriders versus the Ottawa Redblacks soon? Maybe. No? Okay. No. Okay. No. Okay. You're not a CFL guy either. Okay, cool.
No. All right. No, God, no. I am hockey, and more hockey, man.
No, I get you. Hockey is definitely number one. Football is right behind. Don't tell my girlfriend that.
No, I get it. Like, I'm not, like, again, I think people should watch what they enjoy. I mean, I've watched a little bit of football in the Discord just because, like, the guys would be in there and I was like, football. I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll watch some football.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, it's weird because, like, hockey was always on in the house when I was a kid. Like, I don't really, like, baseball was never on, basketball was never on, right? So I never really got into those sports. Football was on all the fucking time, and I don't know why, I never got into it.
Yeah. No, it's always been fun, but yeah, you just have to get into it, and it has to be a good game. If this was like you're watching your first game, yeah, it'd be like one of those games in like 1999 where you're holding and you're literally hooking the opponent, and they're not calling the obstruction because Kerry Fraser's too busy looking at his hair. Yeah, it'd be one of those games, and it's like, oh, I'm never going to get
weird. I don't know. I just always bounced off of it. It's weird. What do we got here? Okay, so go ahead and up in the chat here. Ricky's saying, boys, I'm really worried about the Sherwood contract. I really hope he pops off with Selly and we trade him at the deadline. Wow, I don't know. It's too soon to. I am not super worried about the Sherwood deal yet. It's one game. In a stretch where the Sharks have been abjectly terrible. And speaking of being abjectly terrible, let's get into the week.
The Sharks,
yay! Fuck. The San Jose Sharks enter the Olympic break with a record of 27-24-4. They have 58 points. That is good for a 527 points percentage. They are fifth in the Pacific. They went over 2 this week. They are currently 5 points out of the last wild card spot. And they started the week against the Chicago Blackhawks, who are also a not playoff team. It was 6-3. You know what? I feel bad for the people that just listen to this on audio a little bit, because the look on my face that I probably just made, just refreshing my mind with the notes right now. It's worth to be here on YouTube.
Right. Not to say we appreciate you or listening to us, but it's like,
I like, if you're on audio, I'm not saying you should be here on YouTube or fuck off. No, absolutely not. Right. I mean, I appreciate everyone who listens, whether it's in their car, on iTunes, hopefully not with your children, or or you listen to your car on your podcatcher, or if or if you're here live on YouTube or catching it on YouTube after the fact. But I think sometimes some of the faces I make are worth the price of admission. That's all. And the price of admission is free, by the way. We don't charge for this shit.
Nope.
The Sharks lost 6-3 in this game. They got goals from Will Smith, who got a 17th. Macklin Celebrini scored his 28th of the season. Shakir Mukhamadullin gets on the board with his 3rd of the season. Yaroslav Askarov starts this game. He lets in 4 on 10. Not good. Alex Nedeljkovic comes in, allows 2 on 7. Not much better. I mean, better, but not by much. I mean, you would think that this game, like looking at just the score, like this was it was a terrible game, but you would think that the Blackhawks just dominated. I mean, there was 5 shots on goal in the first period. Yep. 4 of them for Chicago and 1 for San Jose, which is brutal. The Sharks did get into penalty trouble early and often in the first. That was a problem, which kind of, again, like you say that, but then again, it's like, oh, but the Chicago Blackhawks only had 4 shots on goal. That's not so bad. Yeah, except for the Sharks had 1. And that is bad. It's terrible. Yeah. It was like, is there, I don't know. Have we watched a worse first period of hockey this year?
I thought it was, we had put the tape in and universally synced it up to watch it together from a game from last season, because it was bad. I mean, it was low shot total. We saw a lot last year. Then unfortunate bounces, defense being absolute shit. You know, I don't like to curse on our channel, but it was absolute shit. I know you and AJ. Oh my God. How do we not get you on?
We're a 2-man demonetization crew.
But it's like, well played, sir. But I mean, it was just horrible. I mean, it's just all around. And I know you have it in our notes, but I mean, I'm glad Desharnais said what he said on Askarov, because
and I'll get there in a second.
Yeah, it just was an awful performance, coming off of another awful performance where I thought they should be ready to go, pumped up, and wanting to beat the crap out of everything. Instead, Bedard, does his thing, and I'm sure there are some people, oh, maybe we got the wrong prospect to go to Team Canada now. It just sucks, and I know our friend Ruben was in attendance with it, and it's like, yeah, I feel bad for you, bud.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. Here, let me get to Jerry here quick, and then we'll get back on track. Jerry, the $2 super chat. Thanks for the great coverage and being on today. Yeah, man, we go. I mean, there's going to be less of this Sunday stuff going forward for a few weeks, obviously. But no Super Bowl stopping me. Fuck it, I don't care. Whatever. Do you want to get into the crazy stuff? No. So, I mean, obviously, again, like Askarov, look, Bedard's, like you said, he scores the goal. The second period comes and they quickly pile on 3 more. Yeah. Askarov gets the hook. Nedeljkovic comes in, like I said, didn't fare much better. The thing that really pissed me off about this game was that, I mean, I had turned it off at one point because I'm just like, no, whatever, I don't care, nothing's gonna happen that's gonna that I'm gonna feel guilty about coming here and talking about this game, because it was just like, after that Calgary game, how do you show up with that effort? Like, that's the part that blows my mind.
Yeah, it's just like, you had that tragic loss against Edmonton, which I think would have been a massive boost for this team, and then you blew that. Then you have the game where you just really didn't show up against Calgary, and then and again, you're thinking, okay, we can prove this wrong, this can change, and then you put up an effort like this. Now, granted, there's been rumblings that the team is definitely sick.
Yeah,
if that's the case, I totally get that. Still not an excuse. But I mean, I do
wonder if there's anything, like, if there's something to that, or if it's just like, oh, well, they've been, like, it's because sometimes there's like, there's actual injuries and actual illnesses, and sometimes there's just cope where it's like, I can't accept that this player just might suck this year.
True. And both can be right. And
yeah,
but I mean, granted this, and again, I'm not trying to make an excuses here.
No, I agree.
But they've been in 10 different rinks in 10 games.
Yeah,
and been on the road. I mean, this team has hit practically every division, and every time zone for that matter.
Yeah, like they were on a pretty decent road trip. They came home for one game, went back out on the road, hit the Olympic break. Like, and I did mention that, like, it's weird that I'm like the optimist on, like, I feel like somehow like I'm going on social media. I'm like, how am I the optimist? Like, I'm the guy that's usually like, rah, what the fuck is this? And like,
See what happens when you get excited.
The guy. I know.
You get excited for coming out here, and it's like,
they can't start. Yeah, they're losing. Like, well, they were winning. They were winning most of their games. Like, I'm watching 3 games. They'll probably win a couple of them with the way they were playing. Now I'm like, I don't know if they'll win anything.
You keep your.
I'm just saying, man. Like, but that's how I was like. But I've just been optimistic because they've kind of hung around all year,
right? And,
like, there was times earlier in the season where I'm like, okay, they're gonna fall off. It's fine. It's fine that they're gonna fall off, but they're gonna fall off, and then they just didn't fall off, and they didn't fall off, and they didn't fall off. Now maybe now, like, this is not a great losing streak, obviously, and the way they've lost some of these games are pretty horrible. But even now, I'm not ready to be like, oh well, the bottom's completely fallen out yet.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, granted, this is their longest losing streak since the beginning where they went 4-2.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just frustrating because you've seen how they can be, and it's just it's like, come on, guys, you could beat Calgary, you could beat Chicago, you practically beat Edmonton until McDavid decided to show up and you get a freaking Bush bomb and onward. But it's just like, you're right there.
Yeah.
And it's really like I said, I think when they were starting this road trip after they beat the Rangers, it's like, if this will this will give the indication as to what Grier should do at the deadline. If you win if you go 8 to 10 points on this road trip, all of a sudden you're fighting for second place. You're trying to do things and everything, and you're thinking, well, okay, do we go after Adam Fox? Do we go after this?
Adam Fox is available.
But no, I'm being hypothetical.
Sure.
But I mean, now you got a win. You got a win against Vancouver. Whoopee, who
doesn't this year? Yeah, fair enough.
You got a point, which, if the games were 65 minutes in regulation, who knows if you do or not. You pooped the bed against Calgary. You pooped the bed against Chicago. We'll get to the other game in a sec, but you gave a little bit of a damn there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, now it's like, well, now we're back to status quo. Now you're 5 points out, but you're not completely out of it. One hot streak and you're right back in it when you return.
And I'm not afraid of, like, I keep saying this, right? And the reason why I still think that this team can make the playoffs, whether they should or not, is a completely other conversation, right? Because I do get a lot of, like, when I talk about the playoffs on Twitter, people are like, well, yeah, but they really need another draft pick. They probably do, right? But the thing is, though, and the one thing that I've always said is that the hardest part of a rebuild is ending it, is ending. I'm not saying that the Sharks are at a point now where it's like the rebuild's 100% over and they, now they need to start buying or anything. Right. But I do think, like, there is always the lure of just one more guy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You look for one defenseman.
Yeah. Yes.
Just putting it out there. I mean, one defenseman, and you could be in the midst of things, and maybe that's the thing that kind of enlightens it, especially after these last 3 games on the road trip.
100%. I need to make this darker. There we go. That's better. Yeah, so Desharnais basically came to Askarov's defense and said, can we blame him for tonight? I don't believe so. We left him out to dry a bunch of times. When you start the game with 3 kills in the first period, it's hard to get in the game and feel confident. We got to look at the players first, and then we can look at Askey. I think he'll be okay. Which, I mean, I do agree. I don't think the team did him any favors, but I don't think he was particularly great this game either. And I have defended Yaroslav Askarov a lot because I do think that there's absolutely a goalie there. And I think that, again, like first season in the NHL, and he's going to have to, but there are definitely like there is a trend of not greatness with a couple of standout performances, but there's been a lot more not great. And again, I don't think that like I don't put that game on him because I do agree like the team took some really stupid penalties in the first period and just kind of left him hung out there. But I mean, we go back to it, right? Like you had 4 shots on goal in a period and you allow a goal on one of them. Like it's just it's hard to win that way, right? So the Sharks would play against the Colorado Avalanche to end their schedule before the Olympic break. They lose a 4-2 decision to the Avalanche. The Avalanche put 42 shots on goal to the Sharks 25. A lot of those shots coming way later in the game when it was pretty much out of hand. I mean, the Sharks got played, like I said, they got outplayed pretty heavily for the first 2 periods. The third period, when things kind of were in hand, the Avs did take their foot off the gas a little bit. And I think there was a lot of like, oh, well, the Sharks could just play like they did in the third, the way they did in the third. And I don't think it would have mattered. Like this Colorado team is just so fucking good. They got handled, right? Timothy Liljegren and Khrushchev were the goal scorers. Askarov starts this game, and I was very skeptical of Askarov starting this game. I'm glad he made me eat my words. He had a really good bounce back game here. Really
kept them in it.
Really solid outing. I mean, if not for Askarov, this game is probably 17-2.
Yeah.
Again, 38 saves on 41 shots. Really, really good. The Sharks, they thought they had a goal. Now on the Avalanche thing, that people were really mad at me for this, but I'm like, I don't get to pick my feed. I had the Avalanche feed, which is actually like, as an aside, for someone who kind of just gets whatever feed that Sportsnet decides to give me, whether it be the Sharks feed or someone else's feed, like I always like getting the Avalanche feed because it's like I think it's one of the best in hockey.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's like as far as like regional broadcasts go, I think Colorado is like tippy top. Like, yeah, are they homers for sure?
Right.
But who isn't now? Like go watch a broadcast and tell me who's calling it down the middle on a regional broadcast. Nobody.
That's true. Although I mean, and Altitude does a great job. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
There have been some people who have or excuse me, let me do what since I'm filling it. Many people have said
many people
that now that Jack Edwards has left Boston, that these guys were more the homers now. Now that being said, they do present very nicely. I mean, probably one of the best ones in the game, especially one of the independent RSNs that are out there. So
yeah, I just think it's a good broadcast. I think it's I enjoy listening to it. Like it's good. Like those guys are top notch. So that made this game a little less painful because obviously it's like there's some really bad ones out there. Like if the Ducks feed's terrible. I'm sorry, Ducks fans, your broadcast is complete ass. So if like it was like this game where they're just getting handled and like you have like Brian fucking Hayward in your ear, you fucking kill me.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Brian, we loved your mask in San Jose.
We loved your mask in San Jose, but you're a terrible broadcaster.
Oh.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Demi Lovato. Oh
yeah. So anyway, so going back to the no goal, apparently they said that the play was dead. The puck did cross the line. I didn't see that from the angles I was shown, so everyone's like, "It's a goal! Look at this, you fucking..." Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, the intent to blow the whistle strikes again. Oh god, that's just annoying as heck. And then I'm glad they took a look at that first goal from Lehkonen. It's it looked very, very sus as to how did it get deflected off of Lehkonen and in. So I before we get to Rob's super chat, I want to mention, I want to give you an update. It's his second Super Bowl with 0 touchdowns through 3 quarters.
Amazing.
See what you're missing, folks?
Wow.
And I think I won the 3rd quarter bet because of it.
Sick. Rob coming with the $5 super chat. More of a topic for another day. How do you think the NHL will handle the FanDuel RSNs going belly up? I can hit that for a second. Since you've been so kind to donate to us, let me answer that. I think you're going to see what you're going to see is probably more situations like where the teams are just going to take over their RSN production and then kind of do that. Like, I don't know if I feel like in Chicago, I don't know if all the teams just kind of got together to make their RSN.
Yeah, they did.
And I wonder if you're going to see that kind of a situation in for some of these other markets where the FanDuel RSNs, when they finally do sputter off into oblivion. But I feel like we've been talking about them sputtering off into oblivion for like 5 years now.
They definitely took a big hit. I mean, I know they lost like a bunch of MLB teams over the offseason, the St. Louis Cardinals being the biggest one. And honestly, it's hard. Crazy.
Yeah, it's hard, right? Because I think like there's still people that do want to watch their shit on television though. So it's like you can make a streaming service, but I think it's going to be a situation where teams are going to have to kind of take over their own thing, and whether they get together and make a network of that just shows their games or whatever. And I just like, I think streaming is bigger now, but I just think that I do feel bad for people that do want to watch on TV, especially if those new upstart things kind of run into carriage disputes like they often do with the cable providers. So I feel bad for people that do watch their games on TV still, because I think they're going to get squeezed really, really hard. I stream everything that I watch, so for me, it's not like it wouldn't be the end of the world. But if I was there, obviously,
it's kind of funny because you remember how many years we've been talking about how bad the Sharks RSN deal is.
Yeah.
And compared to some of the ones that are going belly up, it's not bad right now. My question to you is this. I believe it expires after next season, 26-27, which conveniently almost coincides with an MLB, lockout strike. And then the following year, the A's move to Vegas, which unless, NBC is in, John Fisher's pants, I can't see them, keeping that around. So I wonder what happens with the Sharks in that form, if they're going to have to be, have to, do their own thing. And I just have a hunch that the Sharks are getting ready for it.
Yeah.
With a certain, broadcaster that we know.
Oh man. Can you imagine though? Like, I hope they do a better job than Barracuda games. I mean, it's the NHL; they'd have to, but like, I don't know how many times on Flow Hockey where I'm watching a game from Tech CU and it's like technical difficulties, and then like it, pops up a bajillion times during.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
I think us holding our iPhones, and then having the Randy and Drew feed would probably be.
The other thing too, I wonder if because. For those that are old like me, and you're
not old, Ian. Stop it.
Okay. I do wonder if it's a situation too, like I think where if maybe like if the RSNs go, like isn't there a team that is on just like local television again?
I mean,
their local channel, like just a local over the air channel.
Yeah,
I think that's an option too, right? Like a team like might just pick them up. That's the way it used to be before the RSN thing happened. Like this is why, like for me, like I was in like such a fortunate situation, just being where I am geographically, because like I got Red Wings games, I got I got Red Wings games, I got Sabres games, I got Leaf games, I got Canadians games. Like they were just all on over there. Now you didn't get every game, obviously. Like that was the one thing that kind of sucked, right? Like it was like, oh, it was this night and there's a game and you would get it. Like you wouldn't get every game like you do now on the RSNs, but like growing up, man, like yeah, you had Detroit, I had Detroit games, I had Chicago games, like just because of where I was and the American channels you had in your cable package here. Like, I mean, that was, before RSNs came and fucked it all up.
Yeah.
Like you used to get just a lot of games just from, just on your normal channel package. Right. And I do wonder if it's a situation where you see more of that happen too.
And there are a lot of options locally. The biggest thing that NBC Sports California has for the Sharks is that you're not just getting one market, you're getting essentially 2 TV markets. You're getting the Bay Area.
Yeah.
You're also getting actually 3 if you think about it. You're getting the Bay Area, you're getting Sacramento, near up and a little bit into Nevada technically, and going all the way down to Michael Molasses Land in Fresno. I mean, you got pretty much the entire northern California area covered. A local Bay Area TV station isn't going to do that, and my wondering is if you can get a network of TV stations to.
Right. Yeah. That'd be the thing, right? I mean, like obviously, like TV is expanded. This was
right
a long time ago that I'm like, for what I'm talking about. I mean, this is 30 years ago. God,
right.
But I mean, that's just I do wonder if it's a situation like that where, like, obviously, I think in an area like the Bay Area that does obviously get more complicated. I feel like an area like where you're just like Chicago or Detroit, like you're probably fine, right?
Right.
The Bay Area would probably be more complicated. I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything, obviously. So, I mean, this is all hypothetical. I hope that, I mean, that's the way I see it going, Rob. I hope that kind of answers your question. I don't have any inside knowledge on this, obviously, but that's the way I would see it going. I see either the teams in the area combining and making a network of their own or a streaming service of their own, and then kind of going from there. That's the way I kind of see it going.
Yeah, I would probably look at what Vegas does for their stuff.
Because like it's never going to be a situation like the NHL, the other sports, because they play so many games. It's never going to be a situation like the NFL where everything's just national.
Right.
It's never going to be that. Too many games.
Yeah.
All right. So I like I said, going back to this game here quickly, and then we'll move on. Big Askarov rebound in this game. Kiefer Sherwood played his first game.
Finally.
He was wearing 44, which is going to take some fucking getting used to. I was like, 44? What the fuck?
Right. His plastic for the playoff run, folks.
Yeah. 2 penalty minutes, 1 shot on goal, 1 block shot, and 4 hits. He out hit the rest of the team in this game. In a shocking turn of events, the second line was actually the third line, maybe the fourth. I know the Sharks made a big deal of, Michael Misa on the second line, and then he plays like no minutes.
Right. Of course. Because, I'm afraid to put an 18-year-old out there, except if your name is Macklin Celebrini.
Yes.
You might need a development day, right? Right, Sam Dickinson? Right before the break, right, Sam Dickinson?
Yeah, that pissed me off a little bit because like it's not like he could go anywhere during, like, I could understand if it was like we're gonna send him to the Barracuda or whatever, but obviously they cannot send him to the Barracuda during the break. So like if he was just gonna keep playing hockey through the break, whatever, but like that was never going to be the case. That annoyed me. Anything else in this game?
I mean, I know there was a lot of chatter about, hope Sam Dickinson's learning a lot in the press box, watching the Avalanche defense. But I mean, kudos to them coming back and keeping it tight against Colorado.
Askarov kept the minute. I think, Askarov kept the minute. I don't think I think they got walked, but I mean, they did try to make it interesting. I mean, if that no goal goes the other way, that could have made the game far more interesting, far more quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I do think, like, I just think it just shows the gap of talent between the teams. Like, I wasn't like the Chicago game really pissed me off. This one I was kind of like, whatever. It's the Avalanche. I mean, the Avalanche record is like what's the record here? Let me bring this up quick. It's stupid. Like, it's absolutely dumb. Their record is they are 37-9-9. 37-9-9 with a 7.55 points per, like
9 overtime losses is just crazy too.
Right, but I mean, for a while there, I mean, they had had a little bit of a, like, their last 10 hasn't been super impressive, but better to hit that bump now than in April.
It's true. It's true. I mean, oh God, yeah, it's just. Yeah, I mean, and like Burge is saying, in the stands, the Avalanche fans were really nervous in the third period once the Sharks tied it, because you've seen this team with their resiliency,
yeah,
and hung in there.
And the Avs definitely took their foot off the pedal.
Oh,
as
absolutely.
Teams do when they get up and they're comfortable. And
yep.
Bring that up here. John asking, have we seen the Athletic NHL trade board? I haven't super peeked at it yet. There's one thing, you know what? I will say this. There's two things that I haven't really done this season. And that's one, look at the trade board, and two, look at Tankathon. And I'm so grateful for that, because one, if you're looking at the trade board, it was because who are the Sharks selling? Not that I think they should be buyers, but who are they selling, right?
Right.
They have Ferraro at 33, and like, I feel like Ferraro's been on there ever. Skinner at 47, but no Klingberg or Liljegren. It doesn't really surprise. I'm actually a little bit surprised they're shopping Lily, being as they just so, I don't know.
But a decent defenseman on an expiring contract.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't want to come back. Maybe he doesn't want to come back. That's true. I don't know. Yeah, Liljegren, maybe
there's no room for him, or there's no interest. So
yeah, I don't know.
There's that. I mean, but Klingberg, I think, unfortunately, this road trip has shown his slowness and in the mistakes that he can goal right-handed shooting defenseman. But it will be interesting to see. I mean, yeah, but I think it almost
seems like it'll be fucking up.
The lateral move, if anything. Do
you want to quickly
trying to get some sort of draft on the internet right now? Yeah, be right back.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Well, Puck guy's gone. I'll kind of hit up the injury thing. Ryan Reeves went on the IR. I think it was mostly just to get Sherwood into the lineup. I think the Sharks still need to make a roster move, and then the Barracuda are an absolute ambulance right now, which we'll get into in the Barracuda section.
Yeah, that's an understatement. How am I now?
You seem better. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. Stock up, stock down. My stock up, I had Askarov after the rough night in Chicago, where he wasn't good, and the team in front of him did him no favors. He had a good bounce back game in the loss to the Avalanche. He was one of the few, I think, highlights of that game against Colorado. Anything you want to add to stock up there?
I mean, I'll give a shout out to Kurashev for coming back and having a little bit, but I'll be like, yeah, Askarov against Colorado, way to go. I was surprised by that. Hopefully Ned is okay. I mean, we did see him in that Calgary game be hurt, and maybe that might have been the reason why they went with him against Colorado, but
yeah, I mean, they've rode Askarov pretty hard.
Yeah. So yeah.
Freaky saying stock up to Kurashev as well, push down to the third line and says, fuck it, I'll do it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, completely. That's down.
My stock down, I got a few things that I wanna hit here. Stock down is like just some weird more coaching decisions. Where like again, like I don't know, man. The lines are all jumbled up. They've leaned so heavily on the fourth line and I don't understand why we're leaning so heavily on the fourth line suddenly in some of these games.
Especially with Reeves and knowing how tough they've been against top lines when they're getting outmatched, especially on the road.
Yeah, like I just it's weird to me, you know, like I understand like look at Michael Misa, I think he's been good this season since like they kind of took the shackles off of him a little bit. But you know, he's still earning trust and that's but again though, but like don't tell us, "Oh, he's the second line center," and then like play him fourth line minutes basically. Like what the fuck? It frustrates me. The power play didn't do anything this week. Again, it's only 2 games, but you know, especially in a situation where even against the Avalanche where they were heavily outplayed, they had 3 power plays, you know.
Right.
Getting a power play working in that situation again, the Avalanche are a better team, and there's no disputing that, but you know, a power play goal could change that.
Anything, please. My God, did we get Steve's spot back for somehow? I mean,
no doubt.
You know,
and then the other thing too with the power play, and we kind of talk about this last week too. It's just like it's getting too predictable. Everything is going to Macklin.
Yeah.
And like there's other people on that power play, like there's more people. Like look at Macklin Celebrini has been fantastic this year. If the Sharks manage to get into the playoffs, it's because Macklin Celebrini has dragged them there kicking and screaming. That being said, they have other weapons on that power play. Like they just need to have some confidence in some of those other players there to
exactly what I was gonna say is the confidence and the execution to do it. And I guess Dickinson's going to get some power play looks when they come back. I was like, sure, now you want to do it. Come on, guys. I mean, it's not like he went off in juniors the last season for nothing.
Yeah, the Sam Dickinson not getting power play time is probably one of the most perplexing things about this season so far.
I mean, and let's be honest. Also, you talk about the fourth line getting a lot of minutes. You look at Macklin's time on the ice, and granted, he does a lot of the stuff, but 19 years old, and you're putting him up at least 20, if not 22, 25 minutes. You know, he's going to burn out soon, and hopefully,
I think we've already seen it in a couple of situations.
Yeah,
we've seen it like the game, the Oilers game. I think you saw it where the puck finally gets out of the zone, and it's when they're, you know, the Oilers have an empty net and Macklin just can't get there because he is completely gassed, and then can't start overtime because he's completely gassed.
And that's where Grier will need to do some work in the off season.
Yeah.
To get some players to help him out, so they're not one dimensional, you know, and that's the tough part.
And I have the best,
but there's nobody to find.
And I have the best stock down of all.
Oh, lay it on me.
Time zones, man. Time zones are dumb. Everything should be in Eastern time. I don't care. I don't care if it's dark where you are. Look at, man. We're on the Olympic break. All these games are in the morning. I mean, it's even worse for you guys because like they're like at least here they're early in the morning, but like over there they are early in the morning. And I think the Olympic hockey is awesome. And I love the fact that we are, you know, and it's that country's hosting and they should obviously have it in their time zone. I'm being silly here. But it just sucks that like there's no hockey, and it's hard, especially now when like with social media, even though I'm not on social media a lot, like it's really hard to avoid the outcome of the games until I'm able to get home and watch the replay. And I think it sucks.
Yeah, I used to when I used to work at Safeway, I'd be working 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. I would avoid getting any text messages from anybody to do it. And because, I'm going to be up till like 4:00 in the morning, I might as well watch the hockey game. But yeah, now in this world, there's no way. Like, there's no way you can hide what the score is of the game, 19-7 in Seattle. But I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. You just can't avoid it, and that's the tough part about being connected. But yeah, 3:10 in the morning. Yeah, and not gonna lie, we'll tease the live watch-alongs. I think Jules and Tyler are going to do a live watch-along for a game that's on at 3:10 in the morning sometime during the Olympics.
What are we even doing? I mean, look at if they want to do it, kudos to them.
I mean, kudos to that, and trust me, I'll talk to you afterwards. But Tyler's been going crazy on making graphics for this.
Okay.
So it'll be incredible. So please hit that subscribe button if you want to watch, watch the Olympics with some of the crew.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, again, I'm excited for the Olympic hockey, and like obviously it's in Italy. Like, we knew that the time zones were not going to be North American, but like, it just makes me that much more excited for when they are back in Salt Lake.
Yes,
we can, and we can really watch them at normal times.
Where are we going in 2030? Was it the
France.
Alps? Yeah, France. Oh yeah, well, Albertville in like 92. Yeah.
But I mean, like, I'm excited. I it's a silly stock down. Obviously, time zones are a thing, and the Sharks play in a time zone that's, fuck, I'm an idiot. What was I thinking? Young Ian, what were you doing?
Yes, Jerry F. Teal Town before sunrise.
Teal Town before sunrise. It's gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that I can hop on and do some of this Olympic stuff when we do it at reasonable hours or whatever.
Yes.
But, yeah. I mean, so getting into other news and notes here, and we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but it's like, what do you do if you're Mike Grier heading into the trade deadline? Does this recent skid, do you think it changes anything? To me, I don't think I don't think it does. I think he had a plan going in regardless of how they did. I don't think, like, if they wax the Blackhawks and wax Colorado, that suddenly he's like, we're buying everything, right? Like, right. I think he's got a very deliberate plan that he's going to stick to it. But it's gonna be hard, I think, because if you look at like LA, right? They pick up Panarin.
Yeah. And that was a big one too, I think.
So I mean, like, we can talk about that actually quick. Like, Los Angeles Kings, they picked up Panarin 50% salary retention from the Rangers for Liam Greentree. A conditional 2026 third round pick becomes a second if they win a playoff round, and a conditional 2028 fourth round pick if they win 2 rounds. They're gonna probably play the Oilers and lose in the first, though. What do you say?
Yeah. I mean, I mean, your thoughts on it, because I look at it and some people said the same thing I was thinking in regards to, okay, so that's kind of cements the move.
I think if you're the Los Angeles Kings, you're in a really shitty spot right now. One, I don't think you can restart your rebuild. Like, I don't think, like, this can't be the new normal where it's like you rebuild and then you go in the playoffs for a couple of years and then, like, you don't do anything, and then the immediate reaction to that is, well, tear it down again. Like, I don't think that's good for the league. So I'm glad that the Kings are trying to continue to go for it. And look at, this is Anze Kopitar's last year.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is there pressure for Ken Holland to kind of push it one more time?
Yeah, you don't want a guy like Anze Kopitar, who has been there through the good days and he's stuck around through the bad. You don't want to send him off into the sunset by missing the playoffs. Like, they have to. I hate the idea that they owe it to him and they have to do, but they kind of fucking owe it to him, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, he's brought so much, and my gosh, so glad the Sharks passed up on him in 2005. How did that work out for us? Okay. Anyways, sorry. But I mean, that's their flashy move. Will
Yeah,
that
I
work?
think it's good, right? Look at the Pacific's wide open.
And that's the big thing. You got
Right.
I think you might have gotten one of the biggest fishes left out there to go for it, and you extended him 2 years, 11 million per. But granted, if you're a Rangers fan, and granted, Panarin kind of
He had the
maneuvered this
hammer,
whole thing,
man. There's like
right?
the Rangers fans can be pissed off and like I mean, I was
Understandably so.
laughing when people were like, "Oh, the Rangers asked for Will Smith," and then they landed with Liam Green, which is hilarious. But Panarin was like, he had the hammer. This is the same thing happened. Like this is the Marchand trade all over again, right? Where
Yeah.
Marchand had one destination, and basically the return was not great because he had one place he was going. There was no competition. The other team knew that he wanted to go there. Although, it sounds like Elliot Friedman said like they did, the Kings did try to be like, no, we want more. And maybe they get an extra conditional pick out of it. But
Mm-hmm.
they kind of like it's hard to make a deal when a guy has got a sole destination in mind, and it's either like you can do it and take what little you can get, or you can keep them out of spite and lose them for nothing in the off season.
Right. It's kind of like the Kiefer Sherwood thing. You can lose the guy.
Yeah.
If you don't sign him, lose the guy for nothing. I mean, granted, you need to take that chance, though.
Yeah, so I think if you're the Kings, like I think it's a move to make, because look at this again. This team isn't built for bottoming out again. Like obviously, I think they're going to take a little hit. Like you've got you've got some of their more veteran, long-standing players. Like they're coming to the end of the road. Anze Kopitar's this year. Drew Doughty can't be far behind.
Right. And so I get it why this is your old band being
Yeah,
together. You gotta go for it. And I would, if the Sharks were in a better spot, I would have expected them to try to go for it if Jumbo was around a little bit more. And I would say 2019 was kind of that with the Nyquist trade.
mm-hmm.
Now I come and think of it, try to go all in and do what you can do within reason.
With one last
So
gasp. And I feel like that's where the Kings, like the Kings are probably in their last gasp mode. I don't think they're like completely I don't think things are completely bad there, but like they probably look around and they see what the Sharks are doing and they see what the Ducks are doing. And, I would probably be, if I'm them, I'm probably like,
I try to go
what are
for it
we
now
doing?
for
Yeah.
them.
Like, because I mean, these, like, I think the Ducks and Sharks are only going to get better. And I don't think the Kings, um, I don't know. I mean, you could look at the Kings and say, okay, well, they didn't do their rebuild properly, but I think there's something to be said for not jettisoning absolutely everything. Like I think that I don't I don't dislike what the Kings did. I think look at there's some players that just haven't panned out there too, like that
Right.
people were excited about that just didn't pan out. Like I don't think Alex Turcotte turned into anything like everyone thought he was going to turn into, right? So
Right.
I don't know. To me, I like the move for the Kings. I think again, you can't. They have to. They have to try to get in the playoffs. And I think in the Pacific, it's not exactly like it's a hard feat. I think it's pretty wide open. There's so many teams in that mix, and I'm not scared of. I even with Panarin on the Kings, like I'm still not super afraid of the Kings from a
No,
Sharks perspective.
no, I'm trying to pull up the standings as I look at this. I mean, because look, again, one team gets on a hot streak, you're right in the thick of it. I mean, LA is 1 point out
Mhm.
with Seattle at 61. I don't think Seattle scares anybody too much.
No.
Anaheim looks like
Seattle,
they're
the thing is, and it
falling
depends on,
apart.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It
Oh, you're good.
depends on like if you're into that sort of thing, but I know like I think it's Dom's models has their strength of schedule being one of the hardest of
Right.
all the teams, right? So whether that actually comes in, if whether you believe in that or not is completely up to you, but it is an interesting thing to look at when you're looking at like guys. But Seattle's a team where I probably need to start giving them a little bit more respect than I do, because I'm just kind of like, yeah, they're Seattle.
They have their ups and downs, and it's kind of similar in those Sharks that where they've where they've played well, but then there's a little bit.
They've won as many games. Like the Sharks have won as many games. The Sharks just haven't lost as many in overtime.
Right. And again, LA 14 overtime losses, Seattle 9. Kudos to Anaheim with 30 wins and only 3 overtime losses. Edmonton 8 overtime losses. Vegas 14 between. I mean, they're tied with the Kings for the most in I believe in the NHL.
Silly.
Yeah. I mean, Pittsburgh only in the East is the closest one. Pittsburgh's the only one that has double-digit overtime loss. Oh no, I take that back. Philly. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Vegas and LA 14, Pittsburgh 12, Philly 10, and good job. You're 20. Essentially, you're 25 and 30. You're 25 and 30. Vegas is, and they're gonna host the first round.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Get out of here with that.
No, I know it's silly. So I think like when you look at the Sharks, like it's really easy for the Sharks to kind of look around here, right? It's easy for Grier to look around and be like, oh, we're gonna see a little bit of, because Seattle they threw a big offer at Panarin to try and get him over there, and I just think like, if you're Seattle, like that makes sense. You're trying to build on what you already have. I think Mike Grier is trying to do that as well, but he has to think, in my opinion, he has to think about long term, right? Like whether you like the Sherwood move or not, it's obviously a move that he thinks will help them today, but also helps them tomorrow. So I can't see, like, again, and we'll see what happens by the end of the season. There's no extension in place yet, but I think there's an extension coming. Because Mike Grier really likes this player.
Yeah, let's just hope he doesn't like him way too much, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Ruben coming in here hot.
What's up, Ruben?
499 super chat. Celebrini, McDavid, and Wilson on the same Team Canada line. Mick Wilson to San Jose confirmed. Yeah, that's exactly what that means. Could you imagine? Be so good.
All I'm gonna say is, you better win the cup if that's the case.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think Celebrini. I mean, granted, you're probably losing Wilson.
You're losing a lot to get that to happen. Yeah. Probably. I don't know. I mean, McDavid and Draisaitl are together, and they still haven't won it. So.
Yeah. And he did say he would like to, I don't want to go anywhere in his little Players Tribune article. So,
yeah. So I guess to finish on that, I think like to me, and I've been pretty consistent on my take on this one. I think Mike Grier is going to do something that can help the team. He's not renting to try and make the playoffs. Like I think the Sharks making the playoffs this year is gravy. I don't think that I think if they can make a move, but I do get concerned a little bit that maybe if the bottom has for sure fallen out, I do wonder just how much of a scalpel. Yeah, I do wonder how much of a scalpel he takes to the team. That's the only thing I get concerned with is if the bottom completely falls out and this continues, and it better not, because again, 20 days, bitches. I need to see some wins. I do wonder, like, I do hope that, like, if this goes south, really south, then he starts taking the scalpel out a little bit.
Yeah. And there's not, like I said, a lateral move could be something improved.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's house money for what they're doing right now. I mean, I think if they can, obviously playoffs would be great. And trust me, I would love to go to a playoff game. They get 35 wins, and that's being very, that's being very, very, like, you only getting 8 wins out of the last, what was it, 27?
Yeah.
Like, only winning a third of your games. That's still successful, but you're gonna start having that awful taste in your mouth. It's like you're right there with it, but still, I don't think anybody expected 30 wins this year, considering how bad they were. So 35 would be great. If they can break 500, and that's a successful season in my mind. But make moves to get to that next step, because I think now we're putting a lot of pressure on next season.
Oh yeah, and if the PTO gods come back and bite them really hard, it's not going to be pretty.
No, and then you're going to start hearing, the Buffalo curse has moved over to San Jose.
Right. Austin, I feel like Ferraro would have been signed by now if Grier's planning on keeping him. That's another thing too. I think when you're looking at like as far as like guys that are due for extensions, I think that like what he doesn't do is going to be just as interesting as what he does. I think it's a really good shout. Moving on from this topic, Gavin McKenna was charged with felony aggravated assault, among other charges. The felony charge was dropped upon video review, but 3 other charges remained.
Video review? All right, can we get Wes McCauley to announce it? Upon further review,
not a felony.
It has been deemed
remained.
Not a felony. I mean, okay, look. If someone is talking shit about my mom, if that's accurate, if someone's talking shit about my mom, sorry, you're asking for it. Yes. At the same time,
you're an adult.
You are an adult. Yes. One, I'm an adult. 2, you just get the freak out of there.
So my thing is like, 1, obviously, yes, like talk shit, get hit, I guess. But I mean, like, that's great, but not great when you're not a citizen of the country you're getting hit in or hitting in. The thing that surprised me the most about this story is that you would think if you're a guy like Gavin McKenna, who, is going to be a top draft pick and everything else, what surprises me about this is he should have someone in his orbit to handle that situation who has a little less to lose than he does.
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't he?
Big time. Or be, I mean, I don't want to say be the better man, because again, you're talking crap about mom. I mean,
sure. You look at again.
This took place in a bar.
Yeah, outside of a bar. Yeah,
outside of a bar. Why is he near a bar when he's not even of age?
Well, because you're allowed. Because they put a bracelet on him. He's cool.
Oh,
that's how that works. Apparently, I don't know. Sure. I'm not young anymore. Like, I don't.
I know, but I'm just saying you gotta be careful with that crap.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I do wonder. Like, it's. I mean, obviously, like with the felony disappearing, like the juiciness of the story immediately goes away. Obviously,
oh yeah,
because it was like, it's a situation where Ricky's saying it's a pub, it served food too. Do you have like
that's true?
You guys just like that's weird. Okay, because like here, if you serve alcohol, you have to serve food here, but you still have age limits. So it's interesting. I thought, like, is that not a requirement there? You can just drink and not serve anything other than alcohol.
I mean, if it's a pub, sure.
Terrible idea.
I have a great pub that that's like right by my work. That
from the so Jules saying from the young one, bars typically work that way. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I'm just like, again, like it's situation, right? This is after their outdoor game or whatever. I think that was the thing that surprised me most about it, was just like, why does not he have not someone in his orbit that has less to lose that can punch someone in the face for him?
Yeah.
Like, that seems like a terrible thing to say, because like obviously I think
true.
Look at, like, again, I'm not trying to like condone punching people because they say mean things to you. Like, it's crazy that we have to say that. Like, sometimes
it is
like, be an adult. It's fine. I know.
It's just
and look at, I have gotten like, and to be fair, like, I have gotten myself into a fair bit of trouble using my fists instead of my mouth, or sometimes use my mouth first and then use my fists. I'm a very bad person to be like, turn the other cheek and be an adult. But
I digress.
Yeah, so basically Joel's saying that you get a bracelet that means you can't get alcohol, but you can hang out and do whatever. And Cash saying we don't live in the paradise that is Kennedy, and that's fair. I'm sorry. It surprises me. Because like it just seems like, it just makes a lot of sense. If you're serving alcohol, you should probably serve food too.
Right.
Just seems like to me it seems like common sense.
Best, man.
Yeah. All right. Let's actually I'm gonna skip. We'll come back to the Olympics in a minute here.
Sure.
You and AJ did a video not too long ago. Do you want to quickly talk about that quick?
Yeah, we did a video on basically the rendering, a lot more renderings coming out for the what they're calling the teal reimagination. Do I say use your mouth again? Whoa. It's not after dark. What the heck's going on? Okay. Yeah, me and AJ did a video on how what's going on with the teal reimagination of the Shark Tank, and it is, I mean, I'm impressed. It's going to look freaking fantastic. It's going to be looking so fantastic. I'm glad you're coming to see the Shark Tank in its original form.
Yeah.
But then when you come back,
oh my God,
in a few years,
in a few years, it'll be a while.
It'll be a while. I mean, when you come back in a few years, it's going to look really, really nice. I can't wait to see it. I'll definitely say this, and you guys check out the video. AJ doesn't have to worry about finding beer anywhere in that building when it's finished. So, but it's gonna be fantastic. There's some iffies that we go through, especially if you are sitting in the upper bowl. But again, check that out when you have a moment, because trust me, it's not like there's Sharks hockey happening anytime soon.
It's true. Yeah. So that is again, that's on our YouTube channel, obviously. And if you are listening on audio, it's probably in your podcast feed, I would assume. No.
The unfortunate part is we were very descriptive about it, but it is a very visual
thing. All right. So if you're listening on audio, I apologize. Come to YouTube.
Yes.
If you want to check that out. That's fair. You know what? There's obviously sometimes things you're Austin saying, "Don't worry, Ian. I'll take you to a bar fight when you come to San Jose." I do not want to get into a bar fight when I'm in San Jose. Look at again.
No,
I am an old man now. I do not need to handle anything with my fists. And then Cash saying after Ian gets out of ICE detention, it'll be if I get into a bar fight, that's where I'm going. Let's not do any of that. Let's pass on that.
I know you requested to go to Alcatraz.
Yes. Not as a facility.
I don't want to. That's the only prison I want to have you at. Okay.
Shark Glass. Wait, I need to know something, Ian. Do you skate? Do you play hockey? I haven't played in a while. I skate very poorly. I am not a good skater. Like if I was to play there, based on what from talking to Skylar and stuff, I would probably be in one of the very bottom couple of divisions if I was playing men's league down there, because I don't skate very well. I skate like enough, but like I can't skate backwards. My corners are very wide, I don't skate backwards very good at all. But like I love playing hockey. I did play men's league for a few years, even though I was terrible. And Jules is right. I would if I get to do anything, like I like playing goalie.
Okay, so if we can find equipment and an opening comes up, I am playing at the tank that Monday. If we need an e-bug, we can call you, right?
No, not on Monday. We're going all over the place Monday.
That's true. Damn it. Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm not. I mean, I would skate at Sharks Ice. I'm not bringing skates. I'd have to rent them or something. But
right.
I'm not opposed to skating. I like it. Like I don't dislike skating. I'm just not very good at it.
Okay.
Anything else you want to hit before we talk about the Olympics here, quick before we get to the Barracuda?
No. I think we're good. Let's get to Olympic Palooza featuring Macklin Celebrini.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, so this starts what, the 11th, the men's tournament starts. The women's
Yes.
tournament is already underway. They are getting all sick with norovirus. I'm so like, even though like
Yeah.
the time zone situation sucks and the time that the games are on sucks, like I'm still looking forward to, like, I'm still gonna watch these games on replay or whatever. I'm really looking forward to this, man.
It's going to be great. I mean, the first time since what, 2014 in Sochi that NHL players are going to be at the Olympics. And let's be honest, because I know this has been a big thing up in Canada. The U.S. is out for revenge, as
Yeah.
they've been with John Hamm and everything. And I love the comeback with Jay Baruchel, which is very nice. I thought that was very nice touch, and so Canada. But I know there's a revenge factor there. Canada wants to redeem itself. And I mean, is it not a collision course for USA Canada? I mean, we saw a little
I
bit of Four
think
Nations,
so.
but
I
we aren't
think
going
so,
to have
but at
that
the same
brawl.
time, like, I don't know. I think it's going to be, there's other teams here, right? Where I
Mhm.
think like you have to give respect to, the Czechs being one of them. The Czechs weren't at Four Nations. Like, I think looking past the Czechs, do it at your own peril,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I think like obviously the big powers are going to be the big powers, but I still think, like, I think the Czechs are right there.
Okay.
Um, I'm curious to see what Germany does with, obviously, with having Leon Draisaitl. Um, Obviously not a depth of talent like some of the other teams, but I still think they should have a pretty decent tournament, especially because I think they're gonna still knock over the Frances and Italys and
Right.
right. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited. I think, like, I look at Team Canada. I like it. The goaltending scares the shit out of me still, obviously.
Yes.
Especially
Although
because,
it's
like, how are they gonna, like, how much are they gonna lean on Binnington? Because he's been brutal.
well, you could say the same thing with Team USA. I
Mhm.
mean, Hellebuck hasn't exactly been regular season Hellebuck.
He wasn't the reason they lost Four Nations, though.
True. No, and he was outstanding in that. But in that little psyche,
Yeah.
I wonder what the U.S. is thinking right now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
I don't know. I look at, like, I like the way the States lines up. I think they're gonna be really good. Um, I am tired of hearing about the fucking Russians, though, not being there, so it's not real. It's not a real tournament. No Russians.
yeah. No, I get it, and I understand it because it would make it a quite what an interesting term. I mean, think about it. It could
It's
be
not, though.
no, but I mean, think of it. You don't think that it would be like Ovechkin's last Olympics?
Okay. Here's the problem
You
with
know
the
what I
Russians.
mean? Though?
Yeah, but here's the problem with the Russians, and I'm gonna get into this. There's a reason
They got lined
why
up.
at the NHL. I know people are mad at me on Twitter with this, and I don't give a shit. You know what the worst thing that ever happened to Russian hockey was? The
What?
KHL.
Okay, elaborate.
Well, since the KHL became a thing in 2008, anytime the NHLers have gone to the Olympics, the Russian team has to have a half of their team has to be guys from the KHL. Why? Because if they don't bring half the guys from the KHL and half from the NHL, even though the guys in the NHL are better, that's the Russians admitting that the NHL is a better league than theirs.
And Putin
So
would
they
never want that.
100%. So they can't. So one, they've meddled once. Once. I got this wrong on Twitter. They've meddled once since with NHLers being there. They've won a bronze medal. And a big part of it is because of the politics of the situation. They have to split their team. Like, they are never going to be, until they just start bringing the best players again and just suck it up and admit the KHL is not as good as the NHL, which they'll never do. But until
Right.
they do that, they are not going to be a hockey power ever again when NHLers are there. Period.
Fair. I think that's very fair. you try to make, oh, well, we got the best players in the best league,
Yeah, but they
no.
can't. But they can't do anything. They can't do anything different, because if they do anything different, then they are admitting that the KHL is not as good, and that they can't do that. They won't do that. I mean, okay, so you're saying what Ricky asking what do hockey players have to do with, like, look at, I do feel bad for the athletes, right? Like the athletes, it sucks for them, especially when it's like when your country's kind of become a pariah, and then you kind of look around at other countries are doing, and the consequences don't seem to be handed out evenly for shenanigans on the planet, without getting super geopolitical here. Let's say that, right? Let's say not everyone gets treated equally when they do shit that you probably wouldn't like people doing geopolitically. But I mean, they've made themselves absolute pariahs, though. And the problem is that it's not even just like the Olympic Committee. When you have like a lot of those other countries in their sphere of influence, like there's a lot of countries that just don't want them there because they feel threatened by them. The Czechs, the Slovaks, the Swedes, the Finns. Like, it's not just like there's a lot of countries that are in that sphere that have said they will boycott if the Russians are allowed back, if they don't stop this Ukraine nonsense.
Right.
And then so it's like you bring the Russians back and you lose the Swedes, the Finns, the Czechs, and the Slovaks. Seems pretty dumb.
Yeah, I get it. And like, not to get too political out of this, but then you have people who are like Keshtafer saying, well, then USA and Israel should be banned if that's the case. Then you're going down a tailspin.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't want to that's, I was trying to avoid that specifically, but I could see why I could see why people would have that opinion, though. Like I don't, again, I don't want to we're not going down that rabbit hole.
No.
Let me tell you. I think so I don't know, man. I'm tired of hearing how it's not a real tournament without Russia, though. Because, like, again, Russia, not only do they purposely shoot themselves in a foot, and like, I don't know. I don't think Russia's ever going to be a power again until they accept that the KHL is not as good as the NHL and make their team accordingly.
Yeah. Yep.
There's another question here. Do you guys think the NHL won't allow players to go again in the Olympics until 2030? No, they're gonna go.
That's in the CBA.
Yeah, it's in the CBA. The NHL players, they really, if you look at the last CBA, what did they get? Nothing. They got international. They got best on best hockey. That is pretty much all they got out of this. They gave to get it. The league's gonna go. And I'm glad that the one thing we're talking about Olympic hockey, and we haven't mentioned the rink once.
Yeah, and it seems like they pulled a rabbit out of their butts, and
they always do. I feel like this happens every time with these venues. True. Like, oh, it's not going to be ready, and then it's like, oh, it's ready. It's fine.
But wasn't a little bit of you thinking a year out, like, oh, Gary's going to pull the plug? Gary's going to pull the plug in some form.
I never thought that the rink would have to not be like, the rink would have to be so bad that the players were in danger of playing it, because again, Gary knows that the players gave, and this is all they wanted. Yeah. Say what you want about Gary Bettman, but like, he's not going to. It would take something astronomically bad for him to take that away, because what's he doing by doing that? He takes the Olympics away again, and then the next time labor peace comes up, we don't have labor peace.
Oh no, yeah, you are absolutely correct. There will be no labor peace if they pulled that out.
Yeah,
so there were some people pissed off when they didn't go in 2022, even though we were in a global pandemic.
Yes. Burge saying next year we're getting another Four Nations or something else because of the All-Star game. So my understanding is next year we get an All-Star game. The year after we get a World Cup.
Yep.
Year after that, All-Star game. Year after that, Olympics. And every 2 years we're going to have either a World Cup or Olympic tournament. That is my understanding of of what the international schedule is going to look like for best on best hockey, which I'm super excited about.
Terrific.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm again, and as far as Olympic hockey goes, Jules, Tyler have some crazy ass plans about content that we're going to do. So we're going to do content all through the Olympics. I'm going to top on when I can. And we'll talk about Team USA. We'll talk about Team Canada. We'll talk about Team whoever. It'll be fun.
There will be some watch alongs, so be on lookout on our socials for that. And then we are planning to do, I don't know how we're going to get around it, but I think we're going to do Olympics after dark.
I think we're going to actually do it in the dark, when not in the morning.
Yeah, we're not coming to you live from my work. It is Olympics After Dark here on Tealtown, USA. We hear my boss saying, "Are you getting those things filed for us?" No, we're going to do it at a decent content. Is Jules doing Oceans content? No,
maybe. I don't know. Look at when the adults are away, the kids will play.
Yes.
This is what happens. All right, let's talk about the other team in the Bay Area. Your San Jose Barracuda had a 2-1-0 week. They are currently 26-14-1-2. They have 55 points. They have a 640 points percentage. They currently sit fourth in the Pacific, but really third because they have games in hand on the team ahead of them.
Right.
If you go by points per section, they would be in third. I think it's Bakersfield that's currently ahead of them. Wednesday night, basically at the same time that the Avalanche and Sharks were playing, the Barracuda beat the Firebirds 2-1. San Jose put up 43 shots on goal. The Coachella's 48, apparently defense optional. I watched bits and pieces of this game. I don't have a ton to say about it. I can tell you that Jimmy Huntington got his 8th of the season. Jack Thompson, who just recently came back from injury, got his 3rd of the season. Laurent Brossoit was fantastic, making 41 saves on 43 shots with a .953 save percentage in that game. Again, I was watching the Sharks game more, and I kind of I bounced back and forth a little bit, but I never got around to going back and watching this one. So I don't have a ton, although it looks like it was a hell of a game. For what I saw, it looked like a pretty good game.
Yeah,
bits and pieces I caught of it.
Yeah, same. I didn't catch everything of it, but a decent win. Just wish there was more offense. But hey, guess what? Not to lead us on to the next game, but there was some offense in that one.
Yes. Sharks last, for those in San Jose, don't forget there's a watch party at Calder night for Friday for Canada versus Swiss. You guys you guys are going to watch Team USA too, right? Like, you are Americans.
Yes, but I would also think, I would also think that it's with Celebrini in there.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Okay, I get that. Because I feel like that's the one weird thing that's always been kind of weird here too. It's like I'm the one that has to force us to talk about Team USA. I feel sometimes it's like Ian's going to make us talk about Team USA, so we can stop talking about Canada for 10 minutes.
Well, I mean, it's
we don't care for Team USA.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too. I think, again, not to get all political, I think with everything going on, some people are having a tough time trying to rally around it, and trust me, some of the athletes have been very vocal about that as well. But I'll shout out sweet Annie OD on socials. She had a great TikTok during Four Nations where it's like, I don't know how I could support this country, and then when it comes around for an international tournament, red, white, and blue, motherfuckers, and all that changes. So once this tournament gets going, trust me, it will be it'll be on.
Fair enough. So I'm thinking, this is fascinating to me, right? Because politics has made it hard for me to root for Team USA, but you're not. I don't know. Can we not separate the athletes from the politics? Is that it's weird to me.
Yes, and that's the tough part, and I think that's why a lot of the athletes have been outspoken in the couple of days with the Olympics. I know it sounds crazy, and I apologize if this is supposed to be a distraction from all that, but it kind of has, because it's like you try to stay away from it, you try to do your best, and you root for everybody on. I mean, I feel for poor Lindsey Vonn, with she had her torn ACL, and she didn't want to go out with that, and then had to be airlifted out of there. You root for the people.
Mm-hmm.
I think more than that. And yes, they are rocking the flag, and you want them to be as successful as everything. But and let's be honest, after everything that happened in that first game with USA Canada at Four Nations, a lot changed in that time frame. And
I was really angry. Four Nations, I was very angry with you people. So I get it. I do.
Not touching that one.
I do get it. I was very salty during Four Nations. Yeah, I guess you're right. And some people in chat saying it's just because it's emotive and not rational. Dan also saying politics is generally emotional and not rational, and they have proven it with empirical studies. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Like I guess I get it. It just kind of surprises me a little bit too, because like I don't know. I feel like I don't always like the government of the day, but I still like, you put a Team Canada logo on the ice and I'm all in. Doesn't matter.
And that's the thing. I think
you people, I'm sorry. I love you guys. I'm sorry. I look at I look at I'm coming there, right? Like I am gonna spend not a bajillion, but a lot of money.
You're coming to California, so
that's true. It's California, but even still,
right now.
Yeah. But even still, right? Like it's like obviously I have an affinity for Americans. Like I
of course, no, I get it.
I like you guys. I don't like all of you, but I like you guys.
Oh, I appreciate that, Ian. I would hope so, considering we've been doing this podcast for 11 years. So
yeah.
Well, that'll be awkward when I pick you up at the airport. Oh, hey, fuckface, how are you?
I guess I don't know, whatever. It's weird. It's weird to me though. I guess it's a little weird because it's like, it's weird how, I don't know, whatever. No, don't do this, Ian. Don't do it. We're not doing this.
No. Okay. No.
it's
as Wendell would say way back in the day on TTG. All right, moving on.
Yeah, moving on. All right. all right. The Barracuda played the Vancouver Canucks in not the Vancouver Canucks, rather. I mean, they could be the Vancouver Canucks. They're both very terrible.
You're not too far from the truth, my friend.
The Abbotsford Canucks, the Abbey Canucks, as they are affectionately referred to. Barracuda beat them 7-3. The closer, like shots wise, a lot closer game, 28-24 shots on goal. Jimmy Huntington again opens the scoring. Oliver Wahlstrom gets his 13th. Afanasyev gets his 8th and 9th of the season. Allen, who's come over, a lot of consternation about that trade when it was made for Allen when he was picked up. I don't remember what we traded for him.
Afanasyev?
No, for Allen when we picked up the defenseman.
Oh, crap! Please,
there was a lot of consternation. Yeah, but I think he's been really good on the Barracuda. I've been really, really happy with him.
Nice
so far.
Nice, strong defensively. As Tiger's saying though, Cuda in real injury trouble.
I am getting there. Hache gets his 2nd. Vincent gets his 4th as the he came with Brossoit. That's right.
Yeah, it was with Brossoit in that trade.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Solid pickup for the Barracuda, playing on their top pair. He's been solid. Really nice pickup. Nice pickup by Mike Grier there. Yeah. So this game, the score is good. The Barracuda put up all kinds of points on the Canucks. But at what cost, you say? Well, neither Philip Beestead nor Colin White finished the game. Beestead, I have in the notes, not sure what happened to him, but apparently it was during the fight, which wasn't a fight because Beestead never threw a punch, but he kind of just got ragdolled a little bit. And then we saw him, I guess he played one shift after that, and that was it. White's injury looked super serious. When he goes down, looks like you're talking like ACL or something. But apparently he skated the next day. So looks like the Barracuda dodged a bullet there. But when you add it to the injury list already, that's including, you're already missing, Musty, Cardwell. Musty and Cardwell appear to be closer. They were skating apparently, so that's good. But yeah, just a big win, but at a big cost. Two of their top centers gone. The Barracuda don't really have a lot of, like, it's hard when you lose two centers, especially your top two. Like, there's very few teams that have the depth that are equipped to deal with losing their number one and number two center. But big game. The score, it's actually, and the other thing about this one too is, like I said, like, it was a closer game. It really was for two periods. This was really, really close. It was the Barracuda that absolutely blew it open in the third. And another loss for Abbotsford, who's had a really tough go of it this year. Obviously Vancouver having a tough go, and I wish I could be like, oh man, I don't know what that would be like to have your AHL team and NHL team stuck at the same time, but I do really know what it's like, unfortunately. Yeah,
all too
so
well.
I can feel for them, because it's rough when your NHL team's garbage and your AHL team is also garbage. It just makes you feel like the future is so bleak. So I do feel for Canucks fans. Unfortunately, the Abbotsford Canucks, Jesus Christ, the Abbotsford Canucks did beat the Barracuda 2-1 the next night, which was, I believe, Saturday night. Barracuda put up a ton of shots on goal. But again, I think just the injury problems really added up here. This is a team that's done a lot by committee this year. Igor Chernyshев getting the lone goal for the Barracuda. Laurent Passois, again, really, really good. Just the Abbotsford Canucks were able to kind of double up on them. It's just, again, like the injuries for the Barracuda just were the story here. And if they don't start getting bodies back, they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Right.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, actually. You know what? Now that I mentioned that, though, I am kind of surprised, because you did see, like, the Abbotsford Canucks, they sent down Lekramaki for the Olympic break. I was kind of surprised Zach Ostapchuk didn't get sent down. I know he's played pretty consistently on the Sharks' fourth line, and maybe they're just worried that if he gets hurt on the Barracuda, then that kind of leaves them a hole there. But I was kind of surprised, because he could go down without an issue. So I'm kind of surprised, especially given the injury pile up, that they didn't send Zach Ostapchuk down. Although maybe they promised him, hey, look, you're on vacation with everyone else, so you're fine.
Right. I also wonder if Pavel Regenda goes down afterwards, depending on who's left on here.
Waivers.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I was thinking, oh, it's a great PR move. Hey, we got 4 Sharks in the Olympics. Oh, we got okay. But especially if you have Skinner still here, and I mean, we're still a while from Ty Dellandrea returning, which really bums me out, because it's been almost 2 months now since we've seen Dellandrea, and he looked fantastic.
Early, I thought he trailed off a bit as the season progressed.
That's true. But then he gets injured, and it's like, oh man, it just sucks, because I was just thinking, well, when Dellandrea comes back, and then you're eventually going to need to get Skinner in somewhere if you're going to trade him, for future considerations eventually. Sure. It's that's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, I guess if that's the case, then Regenda is up there, and you're not going to send him down too. Yeah. So,
yeah. So, for my stock up for the Barracuda, it's going to be Jimmy Huntington. Again, like, I think he stepped up in a big way with the game, where obviously, like, you lose White, you lose Beestead. He had 2 goals and 2 assists over those 2 games that they won. And then like I said, he had to step up and play much bigger minutes. Obviously, that he's, ideally, Jimmy Huntington shouldn't be your first line center, but there he was giving it his all, and I give him a lot of credit for that, because that's a tough spot to be put in. And then the other thing too with the Barracuda game too, on the Shane Bowers got into a fight early on. He got hurt, and then he was out. So the game where they lost, they also, I forgot to mention this, but they had like 9 forwards by the time the game was over. Like, just silliness, because they already went they went an extra defenseman, short of forward to start the game, and then they lost 2 more people. Like, it's just, the injury problems are significant. Also, stock up the penalty kill was perfect, which you like to see, because the Barracuda, depending on which building they're in, whether it's Texas or on the road, the penalty kill goes one of very 2 ways. And then stock down, the power play was also very bad for the Barracuda, 0 for 7. So boo to that.
Yeah. Boo. Yeah. I mean, so can we just get new power play coaches everywhere?
Everywhere.
That'd be great. And don't even think about looking at Boston, please. So
I did this thing on Twitter today where I said, just because obviously we're at the Olympic break, and I didn't know how long, like, I didn't know how fast we were going to get through all this stuff, and I didn't know how many sidetracks I would go on. So I asked on Twitter or X, whatever, whatever side of that debate you're on, for highlights and lowlights
going on
of the season.
Let's not go
that far. I'm not gonna poke the bear anymore. We're gonna stay on track now.
Nope.
So I asked for highlights of lowlights from the season, and a few people responded, and I'm gonna just kind of go through that, and we'll give our thoughts on it. Douglas at TO Sharks on X says, or Twitter, depending on how you feel. The highlights for the season, obviously Celebrini's entire season, especially the first game versus the Ranger, OT goal versus the Wild, Hattie versus Utah, heroics versus LA, Pittsburgh comebacks. And his lowlights are the way the Sharks blew the first 2 games of the season. Letty, 90% of Klingberg's season, games against Vegas are his lowlights. Anything you would like to add or subtract?
As one who was at opening night and so freaking close, yes, that would be great. Just, oh God, I still remember screaming, "If you're a goaltender, tend to goal." Shout out Steve Dangle. I mean, it's just, that was painful. But yes, I mean, Celebrini's entire season, I think I said, I think it was with Brody when we said it. It's like the Pittsburgh comeback, the Backlund overtime winner against Minnesota, that was great. Sweeping the Wild was great. But that 5-point night in MSG, I think, really put everybody on the map. And yeah, your lowlights. Yeah, Letty. And Letty hasn't even played a game yet for the Cuda.
No, again, I think this is a situation too, right, where the Sharks have to be careful, especially if they send people down to join him. Is like, you got to see how you got to get the temperature there and how thrilled they're on to be on the Barracuda. And the one thing too that you have to remember is, like, even if guys go down, like, they generally, veteran guys like Letty, they don't go on the road with the team. They'll play the home game sometimes. He hasn't played any yet, and whether he actually plays any games with the Barracuda does remain to be seen. But but it's a situation where I wouldn't expect him to be on the bus with the guys after he's played a million NHL games, right?
Yeah, which makes it even more Akko Taco if you're going to play just the home games.
Yeah, and again, I don't know anything. So far, he's been a scratch. The thing is, like, the Barracuda do have a fair bit of veteran players too. That, so you'd have to, like, if for him to come in, you'd probably have to sit somebody who's been there all year, and has been in the trenches for you, because you can only play so many veterans in the AHL in any specific game, because it is ideal, it is a development league, whether you feel it's a development league or not. It's completely, that's a conversation for another day, but they do try to prioritize playing the younger guys, so you can only play so many vets a night. It's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Moving. I mean, there's nothing that I can't really, Letty and Klingberg have been abjectly terrible. I agree that Celebrini, I mean, look, at Celebrini is the reason the Sharks are where they are. He has dragged them to where they are sometimes kicking and screaming. I feel like he's accounted for more of the offense, and it's just we're so fortunate as Sharks fans because a lot of teams go through rebuilds and they never get that guy. We got that guy. Right? Like we should feel so fortunate that we got that guy because a lot of teams rebuild and they never get him. They end up with Alex Lafreniere and Capo Caco, and that's their rebuild. Some teams get McDavid and Celebrini and Crosby, and others get nothing.
Amazing.
Or they get good players, right? Like,
yeah.
So I thank your lucky stars for Macklin Celebrini every day is what I'm trying to say. Because
or look at Detroit.
Yeah.
Where it's taken a long time. Yeah.
Well, Detroit too, like they never got to pick first overall. 1, 2, like I don't think any team has been pushed back out of position more than Detroit's been. Like,
yeah, exactly.
They've had a rough go.
Yeah.
All right. So Seaglaze at Seaglaze52 on Twitter says highlights are Sam Dickinson's progression. His lowlights are the deployment of Klingberg and Leddy and Mook in the doghouse most of the season. I think Sam Dickinson. I like Sam Dickinson. I think he's now that they've allowed him to play, and I think the same for Michael Misa more. Like I feel like they're growing more into their game. I think again these are both very young players, it's hard to play. It's hard to jump from, especially from junior hockey, right into the NHL. So I've been very happy with how both of those players have progressed so far. Obviously, they need to continue to take steps, but I think for rookie seasons, I think they've given you plenty.
Yeah, and to see the progression and definitely have seen them get more comfortable, it's nice. And there's a number of times where I'm screaming, why aren't they not playing? Why are they not playing, especially early on? And of course, Misa had some issues, injury-wise, but it's like, come on, just let them get back into it. Now that you've let them play, it's like you get it. At the same time, though, I get why you want to kind of do some load management. But then again, they aren't Mirka Mueller, so...
Right, yes. Truth.
Yeah.
All right. Blue Liner 97 at Bliner 97 on Twitter says his lowlights are Askarov post November, not trading for a young right hand defenseman, and Eki still not shooting the puck. Mukamadoulin's injury woes, Toffoli's drop offs. His highlights are Macklin, Celebrini, Will Smith, Askarov in November, Misa and Dickinson getting more minutes, and the Wenberg extension. I mean, this is all pretty good. I don't have much to add here. I think trading for a young right shot defenseman is not as easy as people think it is.
Ooh.
The thing with right shot defensemen is like you can never have everyone wants them. Like they come at such a premium. I feel like if Mike Grier, like if there was an opportunity to where I think a guy came available that Mike Grier thought could help the team going forward, I think he pulls the trigger. Like I think the one thing that frustrates me with Shark fandom right now is like this, well, they spent these assets on Sherwood and they haven't touched the defense. I feel like if there was a defenseman out there, like Mike Grier is pulling the trigger to bring that guy in. I don't think that the Sherwood thing makes it so that he can't, it's not like he can't fix the defense now because he spent 2 seconds on Sherwood. Like, I think that's nonsensical.
Yeah. I think if it's the asking price is too much, you're not
sure. Right. Yeah. Like obviously but I feel like if there's a trade there, Mike Grier is making it. Like, I don't think it's for a lack of trying or a lack of looking. I just think that those guys are hard to get because they don't come available too often. Teams generally don't like to part with them.
No, I completely concur with that. And the other thing too is that does Mike Grier want to part with most likely, his first round picks that he has?
Right.
And the one you can't really control the other one. So, I don't think so. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Sharks have the 9th best odds to win the lottery. I don't think you want to move that unless you were
no, especially
comfortably in a
like
playoff spot.
and they're not going. I like they're going to be a dogfight for it right till the very
Right.
end. If they're unless if the bottom completely falls out, like those standings are so close. Like I just don't see them running away with it. Yeah, so I mean I agree with that. Mukmadulin's injury woes are kind of frustrating, and Mukmadulin's an interesting one because I don't know. I do question how big the Sharks are on him, or if his injury was, because we've seen Mike Grier very quickly to cast people off who just seem to be injury riddled. We saw it with Thomas Bortolo, we saw it with Daniel Gushin, like people that other people liked a lot. Um, when it became clear like these guys just can't stay healthy, especially in the AHL, like that's a tough thing, right? I don't know, man. Like I do wonder how hot the Sharks are on Mukmadulin. I shift on
Yeah.
Mukmadulin a lot. But and it's been a long time since I felt positive about Shakir Mukmadulin. I kind of shift between indifferent to getting close to fire him into the sun for me personally.
Yeah. I mean, injury bug. Injury bug, injury bug, injury bug.
Mhm.
And what is he supposed to be? Because I know he's shown some offensive flashes, but I've also seen some plays where he gets dipsy doodled around for a big man. And to me, I wish you can transfer Mukamadulin's height to Canyoni.
Yeah, yeah. That's all he needs. That's the
I
only thing
think
he's missing.
we might be improved. Yeah, and that sucks for Canyoni because I feel
Yeah.
like his height is keeping him out of the NHL right now. But as for Mook, I think he's a trade piece. If the
Yeah.
Sharks are going to do anything and have some prospect kind of to go with it, he's the trade piece that you're throwing in.
We got Alex Beltran coming in. He said one highlight particular was the 5-1 comeback against us. That's coming up in the chat. That's coming up in the chat here. Thomas here in the chat also said that. I was surprised how often this came up in here. Like I feel like that's come up a few times in here that Penguins game. And I honestly I watched so much hockey this year that I was just like, oh yeah, that was a thing that happened.
I can't blame anybody for putting that on because
no, neither can I. No, like going back and like being reminded of it. I'm just surprised that it kind of just like slipped my mind as much as it did until I started reading these things, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a really good game.
And honestly, I think that's the game that put the Sharks back on the Bay Area media map. Seeing that, and let's be honest, it also helps Randy Hahn was going crazy in that, and also one of the greatest comebacks in NHL history, regular season and in Sharks history. It just hit the check mark for every little thing.
Low light, watching Nick Leddy in the same game be a pylon for all 5 Penguins goals.
Wow. I think you know what? I think that was the first game that Leddy and Klingberg played and they won.
Yeah, I think so.
Which kept Leddy around for another month. And
hilarious.
likewise, so did Klingberg because he just went off in that time.
So Leon at Dirty Dan Taxman on Twitter, which that's a fucking hell of a handle, man. I love it.
Especially
hell of a handle. Highlights are Chernyshyov's call up, the Pittsburgh OT win, especially Celebrini going after Wotherspoon, Beasted finding his game in the AHL and closing in on point per game production. Yeah, Philip Beasted.
Absolutely.
Let me talk about Philip Beasted for a second. He's a guy who I started the season high off and then very cooled on him as the season progressed for the Barracuda last year. He's been really good this year to the point where I think that like if Mike Grier is looking for a guy to flip, I do think Philip Beasted's probably the guy that probably ends up in that flip position. Because as good as he's been in the AHL, I just don't know where he fits on the NHL squad.
Not yet, at least. I mean,
I don't see it. I don't see where he fits on the NHL squad.
I mean, is he just a call up now?
I mean, he's a bottom 6 guy in the NHL, and you can find those guys. And I don't know if he's it's hard to say because like we haven't really seen him in the NHL, and maybe he comes up and he murders it. But like if he's like, I don't know. I don't know if he's a third line center on a contender, and I don't think he's physical enough to be a fourth line center.
Which kind of puts him in the middle. So again, maybe that's another trade piece. And I don't want to be like, oh, you could trade this guy, trade this guy, trade this guy to get what you want, because that's how we got into this mess eventually.
Yeah.
You know,
like I don't think he's coming up and beating Wenberg.
No, and I think that's why the Wenberg extension took place.
Right. Like that's that. So that's my opinion. I mean, but I think, yeah, Philip Bisted's an absolutely great shout there, and obviously I think Chernyshov's really good. Lowlights, Chernyshev being sent back down. I understand it. I agree with it. Still sucks. Injury woes, you know, and that goes for both teams. Obviously, we talked earlier about the Barracuda's injury woes really piling up right now, but also in the NHL. You know, Mook Madulin missed significant time. Will Smith missed significant time. Desharnais, etc. So, I mean, yeah, again, I think Chernyshov's going to be back up. I think it's just a matter of Mike Grier needing to make some room for him to come back up. Like he's on this team next year. I don't think.
Oh, absolutely.
I've always like it didn't take very long in the AHL season for me to think like he was a one and done in the AHL.
Yeah, no, I think he's proven himself, and even more so said that he's an NHLer. And again, he's the easiest one to get down to the Cuda.
Yeah,
it sucks, but
sucks.
That's how it is. You know, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I'm fine with it. Mike on Twitter highlights being where we are in the standings. People are starting to take them more seriously. Them being the Sharks, obviously. Macklin becoming a generational talent level player, and you know, and again, like I was like early in the season, I was very much like, I don't think Macklin's generational, and that's fine. But like the things that he is doing this season, like, man, I look stupid for saying that now.
Yeah, I mean, Mac's just been incredible, and I think that's where where you can put it. Now, just think if he goes off in Milan. I mean, just envision that if he goes off like crazy in Milan and lights it up with with apparently McDavid and Tom Wilson.
You know what though, like the one thing I do caution, right? Like these lines, like I remember when we did our season preview, and me and AJ started talking about lines, and none of the lines we were talking about were anything that was happening in training camp.
Right.
And people got mad at us for it. But like when you look now, history would show we were probably right about what the lines were actually going to look like, right?
Yeah, I mean,
so
I just imagine if Will Smith can connect a little bit more, and if Sherwood can be the guy who we all think he can be.
I think Sherwood's going to be like the problem for me with Sherwood is I see him as a third line energy guy who can tip in a little offense. I worry that Mike Grier sees him as significantly more than that.
Yeah, I just be smart with the cap. Be smart with the cap, because you're due. You're about to pay the kids a boatload of money.
Well, I mean, I don't know about all the kids, but like Macklin Celebrini, you're just handing him a thing and just asking him to fill it out, and Hassel will sign it. Like Hassel will sign it first, hand Macklin the paper, and Macklin will fill it in.
None of these guys are represented by Darren Ferris, are they?
I don't know.
I just think
I'm not as worried about Will Smith's next deal. I'm not worried about although you know, if Will Smith continues on the path he's going, I mean, he has 17 goals this year. He's almost at 20 goals this year. So I mean, like if he stays healthy next year and puts up 30 to 40, I mean, that number goes up really quick too. The only one I'm really worried about right now is Macklin, and Macklin, you just pay him whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not wrong. I mean, seriously, you're keeping this team in contention.
Yeah.
You're top 5 in points in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know it's like cut and dry, but that's simple. It's so simple.
Ricky's saying, would you rather give Sherwood 7.5 by 4 years or 5 by 6? Fuck, I would take 5 by 6 in that. I know the 6 scares the shit out of me, but like, again, knowing what's coming up as far as like, again, I'm not super worried about some of these cap issues because I think like,
yes,
Will Smith's probably getting a decent contract. I don't think you're bridging him like you bridged Eklund. Macklin, you're just giving him whatever the fuck he wants. But I don't think that like, I don't know, Mike Amisa has 2 more years till you have to sign him to a new contract. Colin Graff's going to get paid, but I don't think it's going to be astronomical.
I say it depends on what are the other terms.
Yeah.
Like, are you leaving it? Does he have no trade protection?
Yeah, the dancing, I would sign him to 3 years max. I see personally, that's where I'm kind of where I like, 3-4 years. That's kind of where I sit. Like 6 years does scare the shit out of me because again, it's like
a 37.
I know. And then you're also getting a guy who's a very late bloomer, and you're hoping that that's for real, and it's not always the thing. Going back to Mike on Twitter here, though, his lows are Grier still not addressing the defense problem, inconsistent coaching, power play, and penalty kill. I think inconsistent coaching, sure. I can definitely. I mean, I was bitching about it earlier this show. Penalty kill, power play. I mean, those things are going to ebb and flow, and I think when you're still there's definitely coaching issues there, but I also think it is a young team and they're going to do dumb shit. Like they're going to make mistakes, and that's a part of being a young team. And again, Grier not addressing the defense problem is frustrating.
Yes.
I do still think though, like, I don't think it's because like he's not looking to address it. I just think that again, looking for what the Sharks need on the trade market, those are hard things to find in this league. And that is scary going forward, right? Because obviously it's a situation where as these guys mature, it's going to be hard to backfill some of these spots.
And you look at the free agent pool, or essentially lack thereof.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot he's going to get on July 1st. So that's the tough part. And honestly, trying to figure out which prospects are you willing to part with if you have to go that route. And unfortunately, I think that's what's going to happen. But is it going to happen for a trade deadline? I mean, how many games do they have? Like 6 games before the deadline? Unless they go 6-0, I don't see them doing that. Yeah. Unless something just gets handed to them. So,
yeah. So dancing here's keep in mind the contract rules change when a player reaches 35. So they do change, but that only matters when they are 35 and older when they sign the contract. It doesn't matter if they sign the contract before they turn 30. If you sign contract, let's say you're 30 and it goes to your 37, the 35 plus rules don't apply because that contract was signed when they were 30. The more, especially when it comes to like buyouts and stuff, it's the 35. It's when they're signed. When you sign a player who's 35 plus, that's when like the buyout rules get screwy and stuff like that. So it's a good point, but it's also important to keep in mind that it more matters when the contract is signed after that age happens. But yeah, and that was it. So that is what I got. So I appreciate everyone who took the time to reach out and help me pad the show here. It's good times. The schedule this week, it's the Olympic break. There's nothing happening for the San Jose Sharks, obviously. The San Jose Barracuda, the AHL All-Star game is Wednesday. It'll be interesting to see if someone from the Barracuda gets to replace Philip Beestead if he can't go, which is really sad.
I thought I heard Cam Lund was going for him.
Oh, I missed that. So Cam Lund is a perfectly great person to go in his place. Actually, I like that. Igor Chernyshев would have been my vote, but I think Cam Lund deserves it for actually being there and being as good as he has been coming up. As far as the Barracuda, they will return to action on Saturday and Sunday, the 14th and 15th. They will play the Henderson Silver Knights in a pair of games, I believe, at TechCU.
Oh, well, Amanda, if you're watching, forget the steak dinner. Let's go to a Cuda game.
Let's go to a Cuda game. Let me confirm. I'm pretty sure I have that right.
If not, well, I guess we're back to the steak dinner.
Yeah, so that is the upcoming week.
Right.
What an adventure this has been. Yes, they are at Tixie.
Okay. All right. Han. No, I highly doubt that'll happen. But
All right.
uh,
So anything else that we need to hit?
I mean, we are on the Pucknologists. I could do a Fanatics rant if you want.
If you're feeling froggy, I'm not gonna stop you.
Look, Super Bowl week's been awesome this week and doing all this stuff for the Super Bowl experience and everything. But not to have enough jerseys for everybody. Holy airball. And honestly, that's a huge L and a huge problem. And I know AJ was probably going to text me right now if he's watching. It's like, well, they want to sell scarcity. I understand that, but how much money did you just throw away because you want to sell scarcity or not produce enough? Be prepared. Be prepared. When the whole hometown remix comes out next year, I hope you're ready for it, because Adidas was fine when they introduced reverse retro, 1 and 2, and had plenty of those. And yeah, I get you don't want to, you don't want to sell the leftover Evander Kane reverse retro 1.0, 3 years later at $90. Totally get that. But at the same time, holy hell, get your shit together. And while you're at it, NFL, I saw what you were doing. The mini helmet that I like to collect for the Super Bowl. It was $40 online. You're charging $65. The quarter zip hoodie that has like the tiny little Super Bowl logo on. It's like, maybe that's something I'll get, because I like to get a little some things into tier.
Sure. Yeah.
$80 online.
Oof.
120 at the Super Bowl experience.
Ouch.
And so, F that. I mean, honestly, I get you're trying to gouge your fans to make your profits, but honestly, it's getting out of hand, and you're going to lose money even more so if you take them for granted. So that's my little rant. AJ probably could have done a little bit better than I would, but it's just crazy. Yeah, John Swenson, those are Formula One prices. Yeah, how's that going out in Vegas?
Ooh.
Sure can tell you that.
Sure.
But hey, honestly, I'm looking forward to the Olympic coverage we're going to have going on. Olympics After Dark is going to be great to talk about. I get to watch hockey all day. It reminds me of COVID.
Yeah,
so it's going to be awesome.
I don't work. It's going to be dumb.
It's not a national holiday. Come on.
As far as obviously, so with No Sharks Hockey, Pucknologists is going to go on a little bit of a hiatus during the Olympic break. Me and AJ will not. I mean, I probably will come on and do stuff because I like doing stuff. But as far as Pucknologists goes, we are going to go on a little bit of a hiatus, obviously, because there's going to be 2 weeks of nothing, and then the third week, when we would normally do a Pucknologists, I will be in San Jose.
Yes.
So,
which I think we talked about, and AJ will not be at the Cuda game, so he'll run it solo, and we might check in at the Cuda game afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. So like, I'm gonna. I don't want to promise anything that I'm not doing. Like, again, so I don't know what that specific show is going to look like. But so there'll be a little bit of like I said, a tiny bit of a hiatus, but there will be plenty of content happening as far as the Olympics go. We'll be talking about plenty of Olympic stuff, whether it be Team USA, Team Canada, whatever. And then Pucknologist will get back to its normal shenanigans once I am home and readjusted to the time zone, which is going to be a bitch.
I was like, March 8th, are you going
to no off a plane? Someone's going to cover that for me because I'm not doing that show.
All right. Yeah.
So no, the Pucknall, like the week after I don't want to promise that people are going to do things that I'm not doing. All I know is that one, I'll be like the week that we would normally return, I will be there. The weekend following, I will get home that day, but I probably won't be doing a show that night just because we just need to decompress and like relax and get kind of things, and get readjusted to my own time zone, because it's going there is fine. It's coming back that fucking hurts from experience. And then after that, it'll be, we'll be back normal until the end of the season, whether that be with playoffs, without playoffs, I don't know. But that is what to expect from Teal Town USA going forward for the next little bit. So I do hope you will enjoy us for Olympic coverage, and we'll do that. So let's get us what's on.
I was going to say, when does Canada change their clocks?
I'm aware. That's another reason why I'm not doing that show, because like not only like do I leave really early that morning.
Oh no,
Sunday morning, yeah, because I leave that Sunday morning is when I leave early, and not only do we leave early, we lose a fucking hour. We lose an hour on top of leaving super early.
Yeah, you spring forward on the 8th.
It's going to be a super rough turnaround, because I leave super early that morning. Not good, man.
No,
not good.
You know what is going to be good is the next time people will see you on a Sunday. You're going to be in San Jose. You're going to have 18 jerseys in
it feels like it.
I'm
just gonna be coming with large amounts of American money on my person, so come mug me.
Yes, and honestly, I can't wait. I know you're touring on Monday, we're touring on Thursday, and then there's hockey in between. It's gonna be fan-freaking-tastic. I honestly, I might be just as excited as you are to get out here. So I look forward to it, my dude. And I know Sharks has been like, okay, what are we doing for Ian? What can we do for Ian? Is there something we can do for Ian? And we're working on some things. So
people are saying, too bad Ian missed the Game Worn Expo as well, dude. I'm going to be so poor when I come home. I don't need reasons to be even more poor. It's true. Yeah, I'm going to stay live from San Jose. It's going to be weird but cool. I can't wait. But like I said, I'm sure you will see me periodically between now and my coming down there. If there's an Olympic show that I can jump on, work schedule provided, everything else, I'm going to do it. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to our Olympic coverage, looking forward to the Sharks getting back down to business and me being there to see it in person. I cannot wait. Let's get out of here though.
Let's go.
Of course, listen, if you if you like what we do and it's your first time here, you can hit the subscribe button. It's cool. You can do it. That way, you can have us show up in your feed if you're looking for Sharks related content. If you like what you saw today, whether you're subscribed or not, hitting the like button is really easy. It helps us immensely. It makes sure that we show up in the algorithm. Algorithm is the god that we serve. So if you can be so kind as to hit the like button, especially if you liked what you saw, that would be super appreciative. If you didn't like it, I mean, thumbs down the hell out of it. I don't care. You do you. If you like this and you I'm honest, man. I'm not going to beg for people. You're the person with your hand on your mouse. Do the right thing. Do what you feel is right. While you're clicking, though, if you like what we do and you want to be notified whenever we go, you can hit the bell and you will be notified when we go live. When do we go live? We go live after every San Jose Sharks game. We go live most Sundays at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. And we go live when news breaks. We will fix it. So if you are looking for more Sharks coverage and you want to just be here on the, when we go live, that's how you do it. You can find this in audio format anywhere you get your podcasts. If you are watching this after the fact and you want to have your say and weren't able to do so in the chat, you can do so in the comments below. I always read the comments. I respond when appropriate. But other than that, guys, I mean, I appreciate you guys being there. I'm looking forward to hanging out with all of you in a few weeks, less than 3 weeks now. It's wild. That's it for this episode of the Pucknologists, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for being here. Thanks for, especially if you came here and you're like, Super Bowl, fuck it. Teal Town USA, rock on. If that is you, amazing.
We love you.
All right. Good night. See you next one.